Hey, Mike Anderson here from Ascent Law. We're going to be talking today a little bit about how child support works. Child support is the money that is designed to benefit the children and help those children live their life. Now this quantity is actually a very simple calculation, but can have very differing effects depending on what's happening with the parties. The simple calculation here we have our three different types of child custody. We have 35, which is our minimum standard. We have 35.1, which would be considered the new minimum standard, and our 50-50. For more information on these, you can look at the other, where we actually talk about these and go into them a little bit more in depth. But for child support, it's three separate things that I look at. I look at the income from party one, and I look at the income from party two. If you're a stay-at-home mom or your wife hasn't had any kind of income, this can either be an imputed income, meaning that we will say what should that individual be able to make, or the court will allow them to spend some time finding out what they will make, actually get a job, and then actually make that part of the calculation. So what we do is we do income number one and income number two. And then from there we end up by doing the overnights with the child. We also add in the amount of children that are going to be in this calculation. If you have 5 kids or 2 kids, we also calculate if there's previous child support that has already been ordered, or if there's previous alimony payments, or even sometimes judgments, to be able to find out what the child support number is for you. You can go to You can Google UtahChildSupportCalculator.com, and the Office of Recovery Service has a calculator that you can do to kind of give you a rough estimate of what child support would look like. Having said that, out of these three things, the amount that people are making is, out of these three things are the ones that I currently look at. The amount that people are making is one of the largest variables. If your husband is making $10,000 and you're just entering into the workforce, that'll have a very large effect on how child support is calculated. On the other hand, if both of you have been working full-time during that time, then what's probably going to be the thing that changes calculations more is how many overnights you have with the children. I always and sincerely recommend that you do not try to tailor the time that you have with your kids based upon what money would come from child support. It hurts children, it hurts you, and turns it into a fight for the next 18 years. What you want to do is tailor what you want the life of the children to be like, and then use the child support calculator to make that decision. Here in these three cases, of a minimum standard or a 35.1 or a 50-50, I did a rough calculation here that would put something, if you were getting $600 a month for your child here on a 35, it would end up by being $241 if it were closer to this 35.1, which is 5 days out of 14. And finally, if you were doing close to a 50-50 and making roughly the same, it'd be $18, right? You can see obviously there's a very big swing here that happens, but as you can see here, you have 2 overnights with the children out of every 15 days, and here at the very last one you would end up by having 7 out of 14 days. My apologies, 14 here. So you can see the wide variety of how that changes here. Again, what I recommend my clients look at is how do you want your next Thursday to look with respect to when you're going to see your kids, how you're going to see your kids, and how you're going to raise those kids. And then from there, let the chips fall where they may for child support, because at the end of the day, it is a very swift calculator to find out how your children are going to be raised or what you're going to be receiving in compensation. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, or want to know about your specific situation, please call us at Ascent Law Firm.